Good morning from Spain. This is Lunartics back again, making another video. Now with the druid. Had fun playing this dungeon. I was super relaxed. Nothing too hard. It's not a high key at all. I just went in to chill some after playing a lot on the Fire Mage. And yeah, Court of Stars. This used to be a dungeon that I absolutely hated. I wouldn't even queue up for it. For some reason I was afraid of it. But you know, it's a pretty cool dungeon. Like many of the dungeons, I think it looks great. I mean, I for one do really enjoy the style of graphics in World of Warcraft, because it's extremely stylized, almost cartoony. So I think that's a cool mix, especially with the newer content. Now this is Legion, so you know, obviously the newest Dragonflight stuff is even better. But I like the art direction where it's heading, you know, with elements of realism mixed in with this cartoony fantasy vibe. I'm liking it. Yeah, so this is 17 plus 17. I thought it was lower, but yeah, 17. Nice and chill. Tank also seems to be pretty relaxed here. He's like the healer is like, alright guys, where do you want the lust? And the tank is like, you know, do whatever you want, bro. Yeah. For this video I decided to be lazy and just see what happens. So instead of using music where I have to link and edit after the fact, I decided to just record with the lo-fi, zero copyright type stuff from YouTube. It's cool. I mean, the only bad thing about it is that you know, I can't really choose the tracks. So you know, you have to find something that's kind of what you're looking for and then go with that. Sorry. So I might just go back to the way I was doing it before, anyways. Usually in dungeons, especially when it's the first dungeon in a day, I tend to do pretty bad DPS on the first book or first few pulls. Kind of like waking up, I guess. I think most Moonkins, high level Moonkins, play with Rattle, and I know a lot of them talking about, you know, with the orbital breaker and all of that, like keeping track of your orbital breaker and the Rattle. I don't know, man, that just feels, to me, that just feels like another level. Like, I can see the potential for that to do more damage. Like, sure, like, the way I'm playing now, I don't really track my orbital breaker. I mean, I have it on the weak aura, so it's like 25 now, 26, 27. Once it gets up to 50, I don't know, it was before that. Interesting. I have to read that talent. But you know, the way I see it is like, well, I mean, it's from the shooting stars, right? But what am I supposed to do? Like, should I just stop DPS and like not use my dots just because I don't want to proc shooting stars? Or, I mean, that sounds silly, right? Maybe it's just about, it would make more sense. I mean, this is me just talking about it because I never think about it. But I guess it makes sense in the way of like, okay, let's say I am on the rattle and I'm like barely able to keep the rattle up, or I have to throw away, well, not throw away, but I have to throw a star surge to keep the rattle up, and then maybe I'll go into Eclipse really soon and not have enough astral power. Maybe then it makes sense, because then it's like, should I save the astral power and lose the proc, go into Eclipse and then pump everything once I'm in Eclipse, which would make sense. But maybe if I get the orbital breaker, I can still spend it to keep the rattle up and get extra astral power from the orbital breaker, and I'll be fine in the Eclipse. Maybe. Maybe. But that would have to take some getting used to. Like, I love playing Weaver. I absolutely love it. I know, like, my Star Surge and my Starfall don't do as much damage
4, 3, 2.
as if I were to play with Rattle, but I get to cast them more often. That's just fun. You know, I'm okay with sacrificing some AoE, you know, for the sake of being more in charge of my 2 set bonus and Star Lord haste buff, honestly. And I just absolutely am not a fan of how Rattle feels on boss fights. Maybe I need more haste. Like, possibly it would be better if I changed, because I'm not playing with the Amulet anymore. I decided to switch back. It's just a preference thing. Technically, if you're min-maxing, it is worse, I believe. Like, I don't have the numbers, but I'm just trusting the high-profile Moonkin players to their word. However, I do feel like a lot of people are extremely overly dramatic when they're speaking about how good or bad the Amulet is for Moonkin. Because I feel like everyone is like, no, it's shit for Moonkin, it's so bad, oh, I'm so disappointed. And it's like, that's not my experience. Like, I was doing 250k sustained AoE in no-code defensive with that sucker, and I was doing 70-80k on boss fights with that sucker in the same dungeon. So, I mean, yeah, it's not best in slots. I mean, if you're pushing keys above 20, maybe it's different. I mean, if you have like 421, 424 items, then I can see that it would be probably a lot worse. But you know, I'm not at that point. Like, my item level is 417 now, so it's still viable. But yeah, I do have the ring that has a chance to proc an absorb shield upon fire damage. The one with like 250, 300 haste, and then it's got 900, basically 900 mastery, which you can enchant and socket, so it's absolutely insane for mastery.
Watch your step.
Which is great, like in my Weaver build, right? But I'm thinking maybe if I go... I mean, I could try Rattle. I don't feel like it because I really love playing with the Weaver. But I guess if I were to go Rattle, then I could use both of my crafted rings instead. Because then I would get more haste. I'm not sure. It also feels a bit redundant to try to min-max at that subtle level at this point. It's less than a month away that we get the 10.1 and 1 week after the release of the patch, the raid and the new season will begin. So, I mean, I'm just gonna try to get some 421 items before that. I did get the 421 chest, which was quite an upgrade, to be honest. So that's cool. I'm hoping to get something similarly good this time around. I mean, yeah, like I said, my item level is... My average item level is 417, so I only have one 421 item.
Keep jumping.
Here I thought we had alchemy. This is why I'm running straight in and then going into bear, because I was like, why is he dying? And then I realized, fuck. We don't have alchemy. Yeah. So sorry. Alright. Here I'm almost having a pulsar. This is spectacular. Because then I can just like dot everything up as per usual, as you should. Every time. And here you see I put stellar flare on everything, I put moonfire on everything, and then I went into the eclipse, and as I'm done with the cast I throw in the sunfire. I mean, technically maybe that's the bad play, because I am using a global cooldown directly when I get into the eclipse, so technically I'm losing time in the eclipse. I don't know, it just feels good. I don't know why I do that. Well, I do it when I'm casting the stellar flare as well. That makes more sense though. Maybe I should stop doing that. This is stupid play. Might not seem like it makes a lot of difference in one pull like this, but you're doing quite a lot of pulls, so you know, in a dungeon or in a raid. So I mean, the global cooldowns add up, and that's DPS lost. So if you want to do good on the DPS meter, I mean, these are tiny nuances to think about. Obviously, I need to do the same. Because I don't know, man, it's like I mean, obviously I love making massive damage, and it's cool being on top of the meters and everything, but more than that, it's like I'm playing a DPS class. It's what I do. It's my job to melt faces, you know what I mean? And like, just like the tank wants to, well, hopefully unless you have a shitty tank, the tank wants to do well to help the team, right? The tank doesn't want to lose aggro, they don't want to die, right? And all of this. They want to make good pulls and good decisions, because they are kind of leading the group. Healers, same thing, but for healers, and also DPS, right? It's like I don't want to be in the way. I want to be an asset to the group I'm in. And I tend to try to do the best I absolutely can to be an asset. I don't always succeed, but you know, I'm doing my best. It also depends on with whom I'm playing, right? Because if I'm playing with people who are worse than I am, obviously I might seem better than I am. Man, that sounds so self-deprecating. But you know what I mean, like, if you're playing with people who are worse than you, which is fine, I'm not saying it's not fine, but you will be on top, right? But you could play at the same level, but then with people who are better than you, and you'll be on the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Even if your own play is the same. So, you know, don't compare too much. If you're gonna compare to someone, if you absolutely have to, compare to yourself. Compare to yourself in the previous dungeon, or whatever, you know? Or compare to... Well, I mean, it's fine to compare to people. I always... Sometimes it's just toxic, right? And I do find it more useful to compare to the same class as you and the same spec. That makes sense. I mean, with experience and all of that, you'll have a pretty good idea, right? Like me as Moonkin in these dungeons, like if I'm doing 80k single target, I know I'm doing fucking good. I'm doing, you know, I'm playing like a god basically. I do have about 100k burst, which is also pretty awesome. But you know, compare that to a fire mage. You know, like on my fire mage, I was playing a dungeon with a friend last night or very late. He was helping me out on my old. So we were playing a plus 14 or 17. I think it was 17.
5,
And I'm item level 394, right? And I did 100k AoE in that dungeon. It was Shadow Moon Burial Grounds, so I mean I feel very comfortable in there. Can't remember what I did on the boss, but you know, my burst is somewhere up there as well. But that's, you know, fire mage, and also it's a burst class. If you can't manage to stay in I mean, what you want to do as a fire mage is stay in combustion as long as you possibly can. Like, dream scenario is you pop, you know, you build up your stacks on the heroism pool, and once you hit 8, you go into your, you know, you reload yourself, you go into your combustion, and then you just proc SKVs for infinity until the boss is dead. I mean, that would be the optimal thing, so that you're always constantly in combustion. I mean, obviously that's not always possible, and I've definitely never managed to do so. But anyways, here we are playing Moonkin. Yes, I do enjoy the Moonkin. Somehow the shaman died.
Stop casting.
I don't know, yeah. I just said I don't know how the shaman died. I looked at the DPS meter and I was about to say I don't know how the shaman can do so bad damage, and then I realized, well, he's dead. I didn't actually check the item level or anything of these people. You know, the tank seems to be experienced enough to handle this dungeon at this key level. The healer definitely seems to be the more experienced player in the group. More experienced than I am, probably, with the dungeons and stuff. I mean, he knows what he's doing. That's always good to have a healer like that. The Shaman and the Shadow Priest, I don't know if they're new players or if they're just new to their class. They might just be new players, right? I don't know what the Shadow Priest is doing. But you see, the healer is even, you know, doing damage when he doesn't have to heal or stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely more experienced. I think I'm desperate to push my DPS here. I was like, 40k, this is unacceptable. Funny how that works. If I see like 50k on my mage, I'm like super happy about it.
Find shelter.
Heroes like, ooh, this is a pull I've seen many tanks try to do in pugs, but then they just fail, or they think that you'll get line of sight at the fountain, which is not the case. FYI. But you know, here he manages. Pretty good decision.
Find shelter.
Beautiful. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm not like pushing up videos of doing higher keys, first of all, I cleared the highest key I've ever cleared was a 21 plus 21. I did that yesterday. I've timed 3 or 4 plus 20 dungeons, so not a lot. Because you know, most of the time I don't want to go in and push like a crazy person and you know all of that. Like I'm quite relaxed. I mean I don't have super high rating. I have like 2.6k. But that's because I got a really good score on the really good. I got quite good score on this level of keys, like from 17 to 19. Because I played them a lot. It's just a relaxing time, right? Like the mobs are alive for enough time to me to do some damage. But you know, there's nothing like lethal. Well, I guess there are lethal things, but no need to worry on the 17. That's the way I feel about it. But I do need to do more plus 20s to get more accustomed to it. It will definitely make me a better player. Now, let's see how this works out. I was a little bit nervous. I mean, everybody is stacking, but then for some reason they decide to go left. I think... Oh, I did think that they never did this before, but now I'm realizing that most pugs actually do pull the boss here in kiting. They actually do usually kite the boss on the left side. So maybe they just did that because that's that's what they think you have to do, because that's what everybody does, but the tank was clearly positioning himself to do it on the right side, which is totally fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. But yeah, we're failing here. Like, I don't know what they are doing, but they're not doing any DPS to the ads. And the healer is going nuts. That's a lot of nuts. Yo. I like this song. Or music, this music. I don't know. Can you call it? It feels bad, or it doesn't feel bad. It feels wrong to call it a song when nobody's actually singing. You know what I mean? I should stop that.
Mortal flesh, so it burns.
Yo. Man, I've never been to Japan, but I seriously wanna go so bad to experience the culture, both the old and the new. That would be amazing. Be a tourist for a while.
Watch your step.
And I know, they're, you know, the classic thing of like, oh no, but tourists think this, and if you're not from here, you think that people are always like this and like that, blah blah blah. You know, there's a certain part of that for tourism, which is true, because, well, first of all, if you've never been to a place, how could you know how it actually is? But if you're old enough to know better, and maybe you've traveled a little bit at least, or a lot, and you have some capacity to reflect, which I seriously hope everyone does, you quickly realize that people are people, you know. It doesn't matter too much, like color or blah blah blah. Like, we are all humans, all right. You know, we're all the same animal, basically. So obviously, even though it might take a different shape, we have similar issues and similar strengths.
Who needs henchmen?
So that's cool. I still wanna go. You know, because I don't think that knowledge destroys my feeling of excitement for the
Watch your step.
culture and the tourism aspect of the place. You know, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Living in ignorance is not bliss if it's willful. Then it's actually
Watch your
hell.
step.
And taking things way too seriously is also hell. So, you know, be aware of the dark, but don't forget about the light. Always look on the bright side of life. Okay, enough of my preaching. Where are we going with this? I think this is a kill, yeah. I was about to say, like, I'll use a solar beam on the ads, and just when I was thinking about that, the shaman organized us. I very much appreciate it. And this time everyone seems to actually be staying on the same spot. Albeit their damage was still pretty bad, but we managed to make it with the interrupts.
Just avoid drawing attention to yourself with wild accusations.
But yeah, doing bad damage doesn't make you a bad person. And doing good damage doesn't make you a good person. Keep that in mind, people. Keep that in mind. Pro. That's actually the first time I was able to guess the right one on the first try. I'm usually pretty bad at that. Yeah, I'm a little bit too happy that I got that right. I'm flexing. Alright, time for the next set of fails. I mean, to be fair, I should have taken care of this bat. Like, no, the shaman was kind enough to do it for me. But yeah, I still die. Because the shaman had no time to heal. The priest, I don't even know where he is. Because he's not on the meter. Where is the priest? Oh, he is the. Oh, he's right in front of me. Lol. But I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, he's trying to damage it. Yeah. No. Alright. So I was like, okay, fine. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest, at this point in the dungeon. I mean, yes, I was lazy. Maybe because I just wanted to get this over with. I mean, I wasn't really agitated during the run, I'm gonna be honest. I was so chill. I was just doing my thing, and I wasn't agitated or irritated by these things at all. Because I didn't go into this dungeon thinking that I'm gonna do my best run ever. I'm gonna just crush everything and I'm never gonna fail or anything like that. Like, no. That wasn't my feeling at all. I was like, oh, nice. Nice, chill, 17. Let's go, you know. But yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take care of it. Because I do want to finish the dungeon. I don't want anyone to leave or anything like that, you know. I just wanna... And I don't want to wipe. Nobody wants to wipe all the time like this. You know. Especially in the 5-5 man. Because what are the odds that you're gonna sit down and talk through the tactics? I mean, that's not gonna happen. in Mythic Plus everyone kind of like expects you to know what the hell you're doing, and if you don't, then you'll get removed. It's much harsher in that sense than raiding. I mean, obviously there's that aspect in raiding as well. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not getting in and stuff like that. But it's definitely a different atmosphere. I really like the Mythic Plus thingy, majingy, but I do prefer a raid. Actually, I do prefer raiding. So, I mean, I was late to WoW in Dragonflight because I came back after like 12 years of absence from the game. So, you know, I was already late for the progression in the Vault of Incarnate. But I got AOTC thanks to a guild I'm trialing out for, when I had way lower item level than I have now. I guess you could say I got carried, but I have Ras heroic kills at least. Yes, that's plural. But I only have 2 out of 8 mythic. Like the guild I'm trying out for, they were progressing in mythic, and you know they decided to take a break and just chill for the next patch, which I completely understand. Like, progress rating is tough, especially if you're like wiping a lot, and I have no idea what happened in the raids. Like, I was never in the mythic raid, but you know, I know how it is. I used to do that. Sometimes when I was raiding back in the day, it'd be like 2 hours of raiding, and you know, maybe 2 hours of hard progress raiding where you just wipe for 2 hours is hard, you know. And some, like, if you do that reset after reset, that really kills the morale. You know, that's me speaking from my own experience. I have no idea how this guild I'm trying out for, how they experienced it, or what they went through the mythic progression, because I wasn't there. Keep that in mind. Almost done here.
Watch your step.
Yeah, feels good to be on the druid. I think I might keep doing like one video of the druid and one video of the mage, and then one of the druid. I mean, I guess we'll see, but that's just the way it's been planning out so far. I think it's nice. The mage is the first alt I've ever had that I actually want to play, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. But I am still not done with the editing from the raid that I did with the mage, but I will do that because I'm excited to share it. It's nothing spectacular, but it's the first raid on my alt, so it's kind of, you know, kind of a gamer occasion, so I'd like to do that. So yeah, anyways, thanks guys, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day and have a lovely weekend. Bye.
What can I do for you?
The city's finest wares. always at your service.